Good morning. Oh. Hi, don't come in if you're... Oh, hi. Is he up?
No, he's like sleeping.
Okay.
I'll let you do your thing.
Do you
He slept for 6 hours with you last night.
I know, it was amazing.
Without waking up.
I know, it was amazing.
Yeah, I kept waiting for him to wake up so I could go in.
Yeah, you came at like 6 a.m. I was like, where are you?
Yeah, well, I was like, I got up to pee, long story. Got up to pee, started a show, watched 4 episodes. And I was like, I'm just gonna wait, because if I go in, it will wake him up. And
Yeah.
Jess was like, and I'm like, I want him to sleep as long as he can, so I was like, I'm just gonna wait until he wakes up. And I was waiting until like 6 a.m.
I feel like he did wake up, but like we just nursed and went back to sleep.
I heard him wake up and cry at like 6.
Yeah.
And that's when I came in.
Hi.
Anyway, do you think?
Can you close the door for me, please? Can you
Close
close
it?
that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you want tea or something?
I have some, thank you.
What kind of tea do you have? I want some tea.
It's green tea mixed with dandelion. Only steep it for like 3 minutes or else it'll get really strong.
This is very technical.
Good morning. Welcome to my world. So I just wanted to talk about this cave. So yesterday or the day before, I listened to a reading by Natija Cave. I think, is that her name? Oh, no. Natija. Is it Cave? It can't be. Anyways, so I listened to this, reading it, and one of the messages that came through for her, she was like, I don't even remember the context. Enlightenment, life, everything. Like, she basically said, it's not going to happen to you while you're sitting in your cave. And I just kind of like gasped. And then this morning, of course, in perfect synchronicity, I was getting ready to record this video, and I was like, I feel like I need an oracle card just to kind of like pull me in, right? And so I picked up this deck, and this was on the bottom. Cave, of course, right? And this talks about an incubation. This talks about in like the images of a bear, and what do they do every winter? They go into their cave, they hibernate. They spent all this time preparing for the winter time. They go into their cave, they conserve all their energy. I wonder what it's like to be sleeping for like 6 months. Like, you're in the unconscious realm, right? We dream. I don't know if animals dream, but like, I can't imagine that their entire consciousness turns absolutely off for like 6 months. So, but I don't know. Like, I'm not a animal. I'm not a zoologist. But point I'm trying to make is like, I spend a lot of time alone in my cave, and I keep thinking, oh, yes, here's the connection. I spent so much time meditating, doing yoga, going for walks, practicing tapping, practicing reading books, pulling tarot, doing the rituals, like connecting with spirit in a very specific one-on-one capacity, essentially, in my cave, doing the work, right? And it's interesting because it's just like the term, maybe you'll hear if you do yoga, it's like taking your practice off the mat. And it's like the same thing here. How can you, after spending all of your time and energy doing this good work as we should, right? Like, it's important to have periods of times and have it through our lives where we really tune inward, and we do the practices day in and day out. But what happens when you get to a point where you then have to move out into the world? It's kind of scary, right? I'm just getting reminded of, we all went through isolation and containment. We weren't allowed to leave our houses for a very long time. So we were forced into that world. And then remember that feeling of going out in the world again? Like, for me, it was kind of scary. I remember when I was let into a restaurant for the first time, and I was like, I felt like a bad person. I was like, I don't know if I'm allowed to be here. Like, I wasn't allowed here 2 days ago, and now I'm allowed here. And it was hard to kind of take yourself out into the world after being in a state of being isolated for so long. So the question is, now what? Now what? That's too many. Now what? What do we do after the hibernation is over? What do we do when what do we do? What do we do? That one. This card. You become the voice. Full body chills. You become the voice. You give the gift. You serve it up on a silver platter and you say, this is all for you. All of this abundance, all this radiance, all this joy, all this connection, all this beauty. It is for all of you. It is for all of us. Always, always. No matter what. I posted it on my community tab. It's a link to this, like, I'm gonna say a weird movie, because like it was a weird movie. It was a YouTube movie, and it just like popped up on my feed, and I was like, what is this? And Josh and I watched it the other night. It was so beautiful and weird. But essentially what's coming to my mind is one of the visuals was that of kind of like the light versus the dark, and our incarnation onto this planet. And when the dark wins, what happens? When the light wins, what happens? And there's both on this plane at all times. So that's why you can't deny, or you can do whatever you want, but I just think I hear can you hear that bird? I gotta get a mic, man. Someone's visiting. all of these teachings are just like coming together and getting jumbled in my head. How beautiful though, right? You know, as I work out, oh, it is a cardinal. Okay, I was thinking it was a cardinal. It's a cardinal. I learned, there was a book. There's this one little, I mean, it's a big shop actually in the Western Fair Market, here in London, where I'm from. And it's called Hunters, Rocks, and Gems. They like ship online and do everything. So if you're ever interested in like, they have, you know, gems and rocks. They have like skulls and stuff. It's amazing. But they sell like books and I bought these little dream catchers that I'm gonna make. I just need a hot glue gun. But anyways, I learned because I was looking up, because this was at the beginning of me feeding the squirrels. So there was a book about backyard birds, and there was a section in one of them about squirrels. Yeah, so I flipped to the pages about, I get a lot of blue jays and cardinals here, and so I learned that the females are the ones that are like, so like gray with like the red back and the red beak. And so this one is a female. Oh my gosh, she's stunning. Just like right on the edge of a branch of this tree. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you for visiting. Oh my goodness. So red, so that's a female, but the really, really bright red ones are the males. And then I learned that the junior ones, or the young ones, are the ones with a gray beak. Cool, right? And I'm sure you can tell by me like jumping topics. It's like, this is how my brain works, and this is how all the teachings kind of flow in my brain. It's like I was thinking about like a Zen teaching and a yoga teaching and a something from the movie and a personal experience. And I'm like, how do I weave this tapestry together of all this information in order to send that forward? And I feel like such a dummy sometimes, because I'm on here and I'm like, I don't have a written list of all of these things, and I'm gonna touch on these topics, and I just like let it flow. And I'm like, does this even connect? You know? Does this even connect? I hope it does. And I hope that you like stay with me throughout this journey if you're down, if my words resonate with you, and they may not, but I hope that you'll be around to listen and to communicate and to talk to me. Like I've said before, one of my favorite things has been having these conversations, and I'm sorry to anyone who there's been some like in-depth conversations, and it's been beautiful. But like, one thing you should probably know about me is that I take my time. Like, I really take my time. I like process things very, very deeply. And when I get information that's like super in depth, or there's like a lot of information, I get very overwhelmed very quickly. So it may take me a long time to get to your messages, but I promise I will respond in time. I just need the energy to be right, and so I get bursts of energy to like respond to communications, but sometimes there's like a huge barrier up, and I'm like, I just can't do it right now. So yeah, I hope you know that, and I'm thinking about your comments and your words, and I will get back to you in due time. I'll do my absolute best. But if you ever feel like I didn't respond in time, or you want to just like continue the conversation or add on, like, feel free to send like a double email or a double comment, and I will get to it. I promise. I promise. I love being on this journey, this pilgrimage. Oh, this is like very similar to this just feels like such a beautiful offering, doesn't it? The moon's the same in both of those cards. Spirituality is just love. You know what's interesting? I checked out, YouTube has like channel analytics. It's fascinating. And I just assumed that most people here would be women, but like 73% of you are male. And like, that kind of blows my mind. And I don't know why. I don't know why it blows my mind. I just assumed, George. So I hope you don't mind, George. I'm gonna tag you in this. If it's a problem, please let me know. So I haven't responded to your message, but you asked me this really interesting question, and it connects to this. You said something along the lines of like, what are your relationships like between men and women? Like, have you had more male friends or more female friends? And you said that you and your cousin were having a conversation about this, so you wanted to ask me. And super interesting question, because number one, so fascinating that most people watching are male. And in my life, I have almost always had way better relationships with men. You mentioned, you connected one of my videos where I was talking about my lost friendship, or a friendship that broke up, and it was a male, and he was the best friend that I've ever had. I had, when I was younger, when I was like really young, in young public school, even like before grade 3, I had one best friend who was a girl. She was my neighbor. And then in grade 3, I became best friends with both Chuck and I haven't named her, but it ended up being his girlfriend later down the line in that video. So let's call her Marion. And so Chuck and Marion became my best friends in grade 3. And so she was my best friend all the way through to school. But girls didn't really like me, I don't think, or at least that's the opinion that I have. I didn't have a lot of other girlfriends. There was like a handful in high school, but for the most part, yes, I connected and with men better. I still always felt like an outsider. I played sports growing up, so I was always in the yard playing basketball. After school, we would play, we used to play road hockey. It was so fun. I played that, I played all of the sports, so I always connected more with the boys. And then, yeah, even in my life now, I feel like I connect with women in a really beautiful way. There's like this shared understanding of like womanhood behind us, but like I don't have any. I have one female friend. Not that I have like other male friends either, but yeah, I feel like as I've gotten older, it's easier to connect with women. But when I was younger, like I had a lot of male friends. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Thank you so much for asking that. I will respond back to your comment, but there's a little preview. I'm just happy that you're all here, and it's been such a blessing doing this. It's been like a month and a half now, and I like kind of can't imagine. I just can't imagine not doing this now that it's happened. So thank you so much. What tea are you drinking? Are you a coffee person? Are you into matcha? Are you this is just like a reusable cup, but are you a Starbucks fan? Do you like Dunkin's? Do you like local coffee shops? Who do you like to support in terms of your treats and beverages needs? Tell me down below. Have a beautiful day.